Hello, people. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. As you can see, today I have on some interesting lipstick and I have my eyebrows full. And I laid down my edges. Now they're not perfect, so you edges experts don't get on me about that. However, I did want to try it out, and I was like, maybe I should like try and do that. I'll get better as I go, but basically, I just slapped on some gel and I tried to, swoop it to the side or whatever. Nothing special, but it definitely does give my head a outline for sure. And it's not like my forehead is just out there by itself anymore. So I like it. I'm gonna try to keep my edges done going forward. But anyway, so today, what's today's talk? The talk today on Cashflow Pretty channel is about girls versus boys. And this conversation topic comes up for me a lot. Basically, what the situation is that I like to talk about how men and women are always so confused about different situations, and they're like, oh my gosh, I want this in a woman, and the girls are like, well, I want this in a man, but everyone is missing each other. And why are we missing each other? Why are we not able to connect with one another as men and women? Well, very simply put, from my observation, is because young little girls and young boys are not being taught the same things. Even with two-parent households, men and girls are not being taught the same thing. First, you have the issue of women. I have the guy, he was asking a question, why do women lay with so many men? Which is funny, because you wouldn't say, why do men lay with so many women? For some people, they think that's normal. They think that men laying with women is normal. But it's not. It's just taught, Men are searching for themselves the same way that women are searching for themselves. And what are they searching for? They're searching for validation. Women are searching for validation from men. Do you love me? Do you care for me? Am I enough for you? These questions usually that end up, the ultimate goal is marriage or some type of relationship, some type of I want to be here for you type of answer. Men, on the other hand, are searching for popularity. They want those numbers. They're having sex with women because they want to show their friends that they're men or they're risky. They want to show their fathers that they're men or better than them. They may be trying to impress the women. Oh, I got this, I got that. At the end of the day, it's still validation. No matter how you put it. Oh, you might say, oh man, they just want to lay with women. We're not here for love. Okay, love may not be your ultimate goal, but it's still a type and a form of validation. Everyone's looking for validation. No matter how you put it, the word that you're looking for is not relationship, it's validation. So, and for women, a relationship secures validation. For men, sex, numbers, they secure validation. So why do we have these validating problems? It's because we're taught differently. Girls are taught to wait, to respect themselves, to not indulge in sex because you're giving yourself away to someone who's undeserving. They're taught to need a man, to want a man, and the reason why they need a man is they need a provider. They need a man to need them because they're supposed to be used as a source for a helpmate. If obviously you need to be needed if you're going to be a helpmate, because what's the point if your husband doesn't need you for house duties or to be a partner in your business, or what? Why are you there? Why do you exist? So if a person's quality, so women will go out and gain skills that they feel that husbands need, and they will try to show those through different means as necessary, depending on how far those relationships have went. So in relationships, you start doing wifely duties before you're a wife, because you want to see if that person needs what you have, or if they value what you show you can provide to that relationship. On the other hand, men are not even worried about that, because they are taught that no one should need them. Like, women nowadays, women should not need you as a man, not even as a provider. You should not need women, not even as a helpmate. Everyone should do for themselves. And so therefore, it kind of backfires on women, because women are like, okay, this is what I'm being taught, to help me, to need you, to provide for me, and for you to need me to be your helpmate and help you throughout life. But then men are coming out here like, okay, no, I don't need you. No, I'm not going to provide for you. No, that's wrong. No, I'm not about to have babies and families. Why are you thinking like this? Like, we're too young for that. Men are being taught that, hey, just having sex is just fun, taking risk in life, taking risk and having babies, and it's just a part of life. It's just what happens in life, and it's nothing to get attached to. Having a baby with a woman is not something that you should go crazy about, and it's definitely not something that should attach you to that woman. It's just a baby. Family values are not being taught to men in that manner. Whereas women, they're looking at, we have a baby, we need to have a family. We need to stick together. We need to be together in order for this to be successful. So you have two different things, and they're clashing against one another, and the world is sitting here wondering why everybody won't get along. Why aren't we understanding one another? Why is there this great big divide between women and men, and why is everything so confusing? Well, duh, parents are teaching their sons and daughters two different things, two different ways of life. And if two people are being taught two different ways of life, exactly what do you feel is going to happen? These things children are being confused until adulthood, when they finally go, we need to be on the same page here. Okay, and not only do we need to be on the same page, we got to figure out what page that is, because the pages weren't created for us, unless you have a certain religion that you're following, or spiritual pathway that has a basis for how life is supposed to be. But even then, if you're mixing your relationships with people who don't follow your basis or follow your religion or spiritual structure, then you're still going to be confused, and you're still going to be clashing, because you're not on the same page about family life and what that's supposed to look like. So I would just, that is my assumption of what's happening here with women and men. Definitely, I know I'm correct. Men think much different than women about what family is supposed to be. They think different about sex, where women are taught that having sex with multiple people is disrespectful. Men are taught that having sex with multiple women is not disrespectful. But how is that the case? It is the same. Like, disrespect is disrespect. If you can go out here, risk having babies with a person, put that on yourself. It's not just affecting that woman. I don't even understand how people get that out of that. Like, how is having sex with multiple people not disrespecting yourself? Why? Because you're not thinking of the goal that you have in your mind is not the same as hers? That's not true. Because if the baby comes out of this relationship, guess what? You've disrespected your entire self-worth, because now you have a baby and you have to choose to be there for that child or not be there for that child. Hence, you disrespected the livelihood that you're living because you brought into something into the world that you did not want. Okay, now you have to go through life with this other person who thought of life a little bit differently, and you both have to try and work it out. You know, it's just really sad that our parents are teaching their sons and their daughters differently. We really need to grasp the concept that we need to be on the same page as women and men. Girls need to learn about guys. It should not be a secret. Men need to learn about little girls. It should not be a secret. And we should not be confusing our children, allowing one party to have so much fun with life and think of life and sex and marriage and all that as a joke, and then make it serious for our young girls. Because now you have young girls going through life with this serious thought about life and family and being a helpmate, and the men are not ready for her. And by the time she understands that men are not ready for that, she feels used and abused and neglected. She's been searching for one man to understand that she's on the right pathway. She was on the right pathway the whole time. And they've used and abused her. They played with her because that's what life told her. I mean, that's what life told him it was supposed to be at that time. That she's a joke. Everything she learned is wrong. Until one day he figures out that, oh my gosh, she was doing what girls are supposed to do as adults, but at a young age. Now, by the time she got the clue, or now by the time he got the clue, now she's like, well, forget that. That did not work for me. Now I'm not going to be the helpmate. I'm not going to think of family life the way that I was taught in the books and through my parents, because it did not work for me. The whole time I was trying to be respectful to myself, and the whole time I was trying to be this helpmate to this boy as I grew up, like my parents told me to, he thought I was a joke. So why be a joke? I want to have fun. I want to enjoy life. I'm going to live like him. I want to do what he's doing. I want to get on the same page as him. But now he's on the other page. Now he's saying, where's the good women at? Now all they want to do is joke and play. Now they're just all so childish, because now that I figure life out, they're doing what I was doing in the beginning. So, and we wonder why we're so confused. It's flip-flop. If you gotta be confused with life, teach your children age limits and when those are supposed to take place. Allow children to be children and let them know, hey, relationships are being practiced at young ages, but there should be no expectation there what's happening in relationship. No expectation. You're not this, you're not that, you're not this, or whatever you want to call anything under the age of 20. I'd say 20. I would put it high, 25, really. Anything under the age of 25 is freedom, basically. And you should not feel any type of way what you do in that age limits, because it's really, you're developing, like your mind is developing, you're starting to grasp concepts, you're starting to get how things are supposed to work, you're figuring out yourself and what type of lifestyle you want to live, you're figuring out if what you were taught is truly what you believe or what you want to accept for your life. And so you shouldn't feel good or bad, about the actions that you're partaking, you know. Obviously, if you have a spiritual pathway, um, you you want to stay close to it. It is the best way to keep yourself out of trouble. But if you slip and you fall, don't feel any type of way about it. Just get back up and try your best to live in honor of those things that mean the most to you. So I just wanted to crack the code. Boy versus girl. Why are we so confused? And the reason why is because we're taught differently. Girls are taught to do certain things. They're taught respect is a certain thing. They're taught that love means a certain thing, and boys are just simply taught something differently. So why are we being so stringent on our girls but not stringent on our boys? It's not good enough to just let them be unaccountable for themselves. It's not good enough to allow boys to have the most control of what means what to them in the beginning and have that reflected on our girls. It's just confusing for the both of them. Yeah. The whole conversation is confusing because you're like, okay, what do you mean? So girls are learning one thing, boys are learning one thing, and you're telling me at a certain point in life they switch, so they'll adapt to what the other one is doing and they'll try that out, and now they're confused because nothing's working. Why isn't, if it's not one or the other, why aren't they working? It's because they're not doing the same thing at the same time. If girls and boys were both taught the same thing, if girls were told to have fun, to not think seriously of relationships early on in life, to just enjoy yourself, go party, have sex with as many people as you can, count your numbers to validate that you're the woman or you're the man. Uh, Girls and boys would just be having fun and they would not care. They would have babies, they would not care because it would not be connected to, love. But then you'd be missing out on those emotional connections. You wouldn't be protecting those soul ties that happen when you're engaging in these relationships. So then if everyone was taught to respect yourself, be married, if both men and women were taught that having sex with multiple people is disrespectful to ourselves, and not just women, but women and men, then we'd have less of that going on. We'd have less cheating and less all of that, because everybody would be convicted internally about what they were doing. So my message today is teach your girls and your boys the same things, so that overall in this world there will be less confusion. All right, have a good day.